love working with Michelle.
I feel buoyant
and alive, Michelle.
It's amazing. I don't feel as though I've got together in all that negative crap. It's like a different planet.
It opens up possibilities.
I was suffering from grief and I could not make anything right with my business. But since the first session with Michelle, I had a clarity that I could never explain. All of a sudden, my brain was so clear that I could just do the right thing without even thinking. And whatever was ailing in my body just disappeared. It was really amazing.
Hello there, this is Michelle Holang, the Chinese Jamaican Real Sparkle Diva, and tonight is a special night because I wanted to talk about something that just totally shifted how I was seeing myself, and it explained a lot of things that I had thought were kind of not quite right, or that I had to fix something, and it turns out that it's just the way I'm wired. And so that is a buzz that's going on around the internet and everywhere, chat rooms, all that, this thing about human design. And I just wanted to touch base on that a little bit this episode, as well as talk about Sparkle a bit, about bank methodology a bit, and about intuitive healing, all of those things, because to me, those are some of the things, some of the key elements that can help you to be a better CEO of you, your Chief Executive Officer of yourself. And why is that important? Why is it important to even think of being CEO of yourself? We can think of businesses and corporations and being the chief executive officer of that and knowing what's going on and moving things around and ensuring that all the different parts of the business are working properly. And I come from a quality management background in that I audited, I set up ISO 9001 quality management systems, and I audited them for many years, improved and streamlined, and figured out what was needed to make everything run smoother, have people interact better, to get the handoffs all running smoothly, like in a relay race when the baton is being passed, that you don't drop it, somebody just doesn't miss catching it and then splat the customer's product or whatever it is you're doing doesn't get done because the ball is dropped, the baton is dropped, the whatever doesn't make it to the next step. And in our lives, that's kind of what happens in our personal lives as well, with our bodies as well, with the way we execute what it is we want to get done or accomplish in our lives. And one of the things that is clear to me, just even recently with digging deeper into human design, because I knew about it probably a couple of years now. My sister mentioned it to me, and she delves in that quite a bit. And it is that we get Western astrology. We get that the planets all move around, and depending on what time you are born and where exactly in the world, because that all comes into play with in your astrological chart, not just the newspaper horoscope. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the measurements, the very exacting science of astrology, where they get out the calipers, they figure out where exactly all the planets were at the time of your birth, where you were born. It all depends, and that ties into a lot of who you are. And if you don't know that already, maybe it's something that might be interesting and intriguing to you once you start delving into that. Now, let me talk a little bit about some of the benefits for me of understanding my human design chart. And for number one is, what am I here to do? So I'm here on the Sparkle Experience show, and it's something I decided to do just kind of because I just felt I needed to do it. And then what turns out is that it's something that is in my chart, my human design chart. It's where, from experiences, from life experiences, from all the things I've gone through in my life, from the journeys, from the challenges, from the struggles, all of that, to learning how to deal with those challenges, and then going on a spiritual journey to discover more that not only can I understand processes and systems, but I also have that ability to, and now I'm just starting to acknowledge it, is to tune into that knowing without even realizing I'm tuning into that knowing, and being able to pick up on what people are feeling or needing help with it without knowing what that is. And before, I used to think it was just, everybody could do it, and that it was just me thinking. And when I started to dig deep into my human design chart, what it's starting to show is that I am a manifester, meaning that I'm very creative. I initiate a lot of things. I sparkle and do a lot of, make a lot of changes. I'm always, going after creating, discovering, that kind of thing. And then, so that's how I roll. And before, I used to think, well, there's something wrong because not everybody does that. And maybe, it's just so much that I do. But the human design, if you look at your charts, there are 5 different types that you will fall into one of those. So manifestors, then there's the generators. The generators are the builders, and they have energy. They don't run out of steam. I don't know if you know anybody. I have a daughter like that. She just goes, and I can't keep up with her because as a manifester, I can go, but then I need to stop and I need to just recharge. Generators, they just go. And if you know somebody like that where they just go and they just don't seem to ever need to stop, that's how they're wired. And then you have the manifesting generators, which is a mix, they're the multitaskers. They have the speed and the power, and they also don't need to recharge like just a pure manifester as I am. Interesting, right? Then you have the projectors. They're the ones they are the guides and the seers of the systems. They're the people who they're invited to give their opinion. And then there's the reflectors who just, when they see something, they just can mirror it back and nobody takes offense because that's their role. And you might think, that's hocus pocus, but there's an energy to it because, it's one thing to have an idea and create, but there's another thing I found out from this human design, that one of my the things I need to do when I am trying to get people to invite them to do what I want them to do is I have to pre-inform them. I can't just tell them today and expect them to jump right now. I need to inform and let you know that I have an idea and it's coming and it's not quite there yet. Why? Because that's the energy around this whole design thing of how I'm built, the energy I send out. And I guess when I think about it, I can think of people who, when they invite somebody to do it, they can just do it right there and people jump. I'm not one of those because I noticed that, but I didn't know what was happening or why it was that some people could say, let's go, and people would just jump, and why I'd say, let's go, and they'd look at me and kind of run in the other direction. So some of these things, if you're a business person, just think about it this way. If you're a business person and you've been doing things the same way all the time and it's not working, what if part of that is in your human design chart? What if some of it is just things that you weren't really aware of, that when you look at it and you read it, it goes, yeah, that's actually true. And it might sound like the horoscope, it might sound like astrology, but it isn't. It goes deeper because the human design is built on gene keys, the gates, I Ching, which is an ancient Chinese way of looking at how the things that are meant to flow around you. And then there is, of course, a Western astrology. So when you put all those together, it gives you a different view. It even gives you the view of your energy centers, right? Your head, your throat, your heart, your spleen, your root chakra, and so forth. And it all builds into how you communicate and how you who you're meant to communicate with or work with, and the roles you will play. It's almost like bank too. You see, bank methodology is action, the nurturing, the blueprint, and the knowledge. And those codes, when you can pinpoint it in your family members, in your loved ones, in the people you work with, and you understand your bank code, then it helps you to also understand others. Why is this so important? Because when you can communicate clearly with those who you need to have understand your concepts or what it is you're trying to help them with, if they're not able to hear you because of your nature or how you're coming across, then they will tend to not listen. So when we're talking about our businesses, human design, I found out too, has a lot to do with how I was trying to launch my new program, which, if you haven't seen or heard about it yet in my post, it's the 90-day Be CEO of You program. That's to help to empower as well as to recalibrate with the frequencies that I bring to the table to help you to be everything that you can be. And you might think, well, what does that look like? So what I'd like to share with you is it's not a case study, but it's just an interesting transformation that happened on my last 90-day program, which was with Cameron here. And when Cameron came onto the program, he was very quiet. He was there because of someone else, I feel. But I really appreciated having him there, because what I held was that you just show up, be there, be open, be receptive, just take it in, whatever it is you can take in, and see what happens. And Cameron, for the first month, 2 months, was very quiet, and every time it was, yeah, I'm still catching up on. All of a sudden, about the 9th call in the program, I asked, well, who has something to report? And then Cameron said, I do. I had a great week. And he said he met all his deadlines, although things didn't go exactly the way he planned it, but he was okay with that. And for Cameron, that's a really big win. Not only that, he was smiling, his eyes were lit up, just sparkling. You can see that in this picture right here, the after picture. And this smile, everybody on the Zoom call could feel it. And so what he continued to say was, I didn't have to explain anything. I just showed up. I got sparkled. That's essentially what he said, as we were kind of all celebrating his change, because he said he felt more secure on that share. And his wife said, well, can I, it's funny. I need to say this because nothing changed. However, he changed inside. And that is what the BCEO of You program is all about. It is to understand yourself better, to just be yourself, give yourself grace and ease to just move and come to your own realization as as I sparkle everyone on the call, and as we cover concepts and processes I share with you to find that peace within, to shift and recalibrate what needs to shift and recalibrate. It's different, and the neat part is I don't have to know either. You don't have to know, I don't have to know. But beautiful things happen. And it's not just with Cameron that this has transpired. I've had other clients who said that on the call as well. They said, I've been waiting and paying a lot, and I just felt something shift. It's where I've had other clients, private clients, and they've actually shared that they've had, a lot going on. One client, Marilyn K, she, for many years, probably over a decade, she said she'd been hurt by a couple people. And she always had this, every time she thought of them, she got this sick feeling in her stomach, and it spoiled her wherever she was in her day. And her husband kept on saying, just let it go, but she couldn't. And then after the sparkle and coaching, one day she said she noticed it wasn't there anymore. Now, you might think, well, how does this relate to business? Well, in a business, when we go after goals and we go after our vision, our mission, when we get it fulfilled, if it's not aligned to where it is that your heart wants to go, it's not calibrated to what it is that you're here to fulfill, you may not get that satisfaction, that great sense of exuberance that is there for us all to enjoy. And that's my feeling. It's not good enough to just be logical. Like, I was very logical before I went down this spiritual path, very logical. And I was where you say, you're doing what? Just, do it over there, leave the woo-woo stuff there, and leave me alone. And here I am. So there's a strategy in all of this, which is to be able to, when things are challenging you, when you have deadlines at work, when you have this big mission in front of you, and things, you're just, it's not feeling right, or you're not sure what to do, then there's a way to tap into that knowing of yourself. And that's what this whole journey is about, is to learn how to tune in to you, get tools along the way, and learn about your design, maybe, as you find out more, if you go around along that path to discover more about your human design. And then from there, being in a space where no matter what is happening around you, you just know what to do, because you're not pulled left, you're not pulled right by feelings or emotions or thoughts in your head that are telling you you should, you shouldn't, you could, you couldn't, why didn't you, and all of these nice things. So, are you leading from alignment or from fear? Are you leading from should-haves or could-haves, or from panic? And what I have to share here is that I was getting panicked, in a sense, myself, until I realized, having been told by someone who understood human design, that I had a splenic intelligence, meaning I get my intuition from my spleen, which is very fast. And so it comes in and it leaves. And if I'm not fast enough to notice that this inspiration is coming in, then I will miss that inspiration and that nugget of gold that could help save me a lot of effort if I followed my intuition. Other people have other ways of knowing, and that's all in the human design. And then the other part I know is that if I start to get angry, that means that I'm moving away from alignment, because that's what's also in this human design thing is if you there's a what they call not you state, and if you get to that not you state, then you know you're not in alignment with where you need to be positioned to get your biggest throughput, your biggest wins. Because when you're in flow, if you know anything about energy and vibration, when you're in flow, then synchronicities will happen. So whenever I start to get angry now, the key thing is to tune in and find out what it is that's causing that, and get back into that center aligned state so that I can then start building momentum again. So what is human design? That's from an insider using it. And I feel that with this is powerful, very powerful. And that's why I wanted to encourage you, if you are out there and you're spinning your wheels and you're not sure where to go, well, perhaps you need some sparkle. Perhaps you need to understand yourself better, to see how you can harness your gifts and start doing what it is that you love. And maybe it is that you're not sure anymore what it is that it's really driving you, because you've been just going, and maybe it's time to slow down and start asking those questions and recenter and recalibrate and get back to looking inside and finding out what's within. And if it's physical issues that is what you need to recover from or deal with, then there is that intuitive healing side of things, which is the energy healing aspect, as well as, there's still the allopathic, the drugs, the medical, very powerful medical expertise in dealing with all the different diseases and the different challenges of the body and the mind from a medical point of view. But I believe in the power of the and. I believe you can do both things, because some things medically can be very, very stressful, very traumatic, although it's all meant to heal. But there is a lot of things that can be done from an energetic point of view if you are open to it. And what that is, I don't know, but are you willing to try it? Because you see, I've worked with people who have had big challenges. One person, very dear person in particular, and the evening I met her, she had a lot of things happening with her. She was walking with a cane. She had neuropathy in her feet, where when she put her feet together, there'd be like electricity, shock waves, and it wasn't fun going through her whole her body. And then she had issues with her knee walking. She had problems with her neck, turning it. She had issues with her arm. She couldn't raise it above her head, and she couldn't lift anything because she had no power in her arm. And I think there was a couple more things too, but after an hour session, she was able to walk without a cane. She could turn left and right easily, no problem. She could lift her arm above her head, no problem. Lift things in her arm with her hands in front with strength in it. And she didn't have the electricity going through her feet when she touched it either. And she was just amazed. And I saw her, that was probably about 2 years ago now. I saw her over last summer, and she was still doing pretty good without a cane. So these are the things with Sparkle. It's a joy to be able to see results both through empowering people through coaching as well as through the Sparkle frequency, that when it's transmitted and it's received, that beautiful things can happen. So what is there to do? It's nothing really. It's whether or not you feel the pull, the calling to see. Maybe you've tried other things before, but what if this is a thing that could help you get the traction or get to the solution that you've been searching for all along. And so there is that energy pull. Is there a pull? Is there a resonance with you? Are you feeling that this is something? Because the heart knows it. The heart, there's the torsion field of the heart, and the heart can communicate, and it feels love, it sends love, and it can know when something is good for you. And the body itself too, because the body knows, as my sister would say. So what is there? It is really, the message is learn about yourself. Do things that help you to understand yourself better. Whether that be, just regular Western astrology, whether it's, doing other coaching programs. But this program I'm talking about, there's none other like it in the world that I know of, where you get sparkled, you get the frequency, you get the recalibration, you get the empowerment with the tools and the processes. Because remember, I have 30 odd years of analytical thinking. I'm a process thinker. I did things in the corporate world to get things to flow better, to audit and pick out things that, helps the world go round and the stress reduce on a business corporate basis. And it's a joy to be able to do that now, not just on a business level, but also on the personal, very personal level, and relationships too as well. So you get all of those packaged very, very blended in this program. And if there's a need, then typically we can get to it in the Q&A, because we get very detailed in the program with people. That's why I like to keep the program with a good number of people, not too many, but enough. Okay, so if you have a pull to join me, please do. It's always a fun time. I pick up a lot, as I said, because of this. What I've discovered is the human design of me. And the other part is, as you open up, you will also get to feel more. So if you are, thinking, well, I can't feel, I don't see, I don't, I'm not into this woo. Well, be assured that Einstein knew it. Everything is energy and vibration. I thought, I understood that from a conceptual level up to when I was probably in my 30s or so, or even 40s. I'm not computing right now. But after I had children and went through the big ISO certification audit, and then I realized I needed to find help to stop the thoughts in my head, which I didn't even realize I had, because I was denying that I didn't know what was going on in my mind, because I thought I was under control. Well, I wasn't. There were just so many thoughts. I didn't even know there were thoughts. It was that bad. And now I know. And maybe you're like that too. Maybe you don't realize that you have thoughts, and that they are going rampaging through your mind like little gremlins. And maybe it's time for stepping back and getting quiet. Maybe it's time to meditate. For me, it's not so much about meditating, it's more about sparkling, because it's where things get released, and it's not reliving the traumas of whatever caused that, or the emotions, or getting back into that state. It's just a readiness to release, recalibrate as you go. And many times it's just poof, gone. So Whether you believe that or not, it's all energy and vibration, and it's quantum. It's, you know, there are now studies that prove that the torsion field of the heart is faster than the speed of light. Like it moves. That's why you can think of somebody right now, and somebody way, way many thousands of miles, halfway around the world, can, if you love them, they can feel it, and you get a phone call from them. And that's the beauty of energy and vibration. And we are all energy and vibration. Even the words we use have energy and vibration. And so, with that said, I'm going to call it an evening. If you have questions, please feel free, if you're watching the replay, to DM me or to email me at info@mentormem.com. And if you're interested in the program, same thing, you can email me, and you can also check out the website, the page, at bceoofyou.com, beceoofyou.com, and the details are there. And, you know, really challenge yourself to what it is that you're uncomfortable with. Maybe that is getting to know yourself. Maybe it is getting to realize that, you know, when we shift ourselves a little as we learn about other people and of ourselves, and the differences in the codes and in the human design now, which is what I'm discovering, when we get to understand the, you know, the granularity of that, and the finesse of all of these, how these things interplay, then when you start to apply it and really, you know, explore what that really means to how you show up, which that means how I show up, because I have been told even on my 90-day program that I have changed in how I deliver my training, my courses, because you see, it's a continuous journey to understand yourself, so that you can better express who you are with the love that is inside of you, that you can regain what I like to think of as the healer within. Each of us has a healer within, and my mother always said that we just were told first that only God can heal. And then there was a kind of contradiction there, because when I grew up, and I was Roman Catholic growing up, which was God is everywhere, God is within you, and if God is within each of us, then that means there's God within us to heal as well. If you follow the logic of it all, if God is everywhere, then you can pray to God anywhere as well, and you can confess to God everywhere as well. And so that's me. I'm not religious by any stretch of the imagination, because I feel that religion causes a lot of not so nice things in the world. But I'm spiritual. I believe that there's a power above. I believe that we're meant to do unto others as we do unto ourselves, that we need to treat each other with kindness and with compassion and care, and that we need to be considerate of others and try and give a helping hand when we can. And that's one of the reasons why I started the Sparkle Experience show, because on many of the episodes you will find that towards the end there is a sparkle segment to the show where I actually sparkle people who are in the audience for free. And you know, it's just that there's so many people out there who are struggling, and this is a place where you can come in, you can replay different videos and get different sparkle sessions, see what you feel, see what you notice, because everything is energy and vibration, which means that all these replays have energy and vibration, which they do, because I have students who attest to that to me about videos that they are using that I've given them access to. So that's it for now. I'm going to say good night. It's been, I'm sure, a long day for you as well. Hopefully, you have gained some understanding, or if not about human design, some understanding of what human design could offer to you if you yourself delve more deeply into it, as I have been doing recently. And you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't get them to drink. So, all these things that are available to us, there's so many. What's that one that's really going to make the difference to you in your life? And I can actually say that one of my students, Malin, she shared with me that this program, she's never ever been on a program like this one that is starting next week, and that of all the coaching she's had, she's never had coaching with the level of care and the level of I'm not sure the word she used now, but just that with the impact it's had on her. And she has grandchildren. She's been in corporate. She's been a coach herself and a consultant, and always avidly a continuous learner, because she loves learning and taking courses and improving her knowledge and herself with a lot of self-development courses on all different levels. So that was her take. And so I encourage you, if the call is there, to sign up soon, because there's limited seats on this. And again, it will be a pleasure and honor to have anybody who sign up, because it's a sacred space that we're creating here. And it's all about spreading the sparkle, having you share your gift with those you love as well, and helping the world to be a better place. So this is Michelle Holang saying good night from Edmonton, Alberta, and I wish for you a very, very nice 2 weeks. We're on again on the third Wednesday of the month, and the links will be shared in posts, as well as they're in recent episodes, starting with episode 40 of the Sparkle Experience Show on the YouTube channel at the Sparkle Experience Show. So everyone, thank you for joining me, and good night for now.